Coming back to you with another quick video in my Moodle Getting Started series. So I want to show you how to set up your gradebook, but I have to tell you that you need to have a conversation with your coordinator or your department head because every department may have their own way of doing things. But I just want to get in and show you what some of the options are. But again, this does not replace a conversation with either your coordinator, your department head, or perhaps maybe even your dean if needed. But you are going to log into your Moodle course, your Moodle page, and go into a course. I'm in a sandbox course that I use for demonstration. Make sure that your edit button over here is on, and then you're going to click grades. When you click this, it will bring up the grader report. That's where it defaults. This little arrow is called a caret. It shows that there are more things here. You can run reports here and stuff, but we actually want to go to Gradebook Setup. Your gradebook setup must match exactly what you have in your syllabus. So if you say that tests are going to count for 40%, homework is going to count for 40%, and participation is 20%, that is the way your gradebook must be set up. So keep that in mind. It defaults to weighted mean of grades, exclude empty grades, and I will show you if you do not put categories in, this is the way your gradebook will look. You can do a point system and just have it calculate points. That's a natural setup. Or you can have it do categories. So again, we went to Gradebook, to the drop down, chose Gradebook Setup, and now we're going to go over here to Add. You can add a graded item if you're doing something in a seated course and there's an activity that you need to grade, but I want to show you Add Category. So we're going to add categories. Call these categories whatever you have in your grade, in your syllabus. Sorry. You should choose weighted mean of grades. Natural is if you want to do points. So we're going to do weighted mean of grades. And you always, this right here says exclude empty grades. Always have that checked. What that is saying is, as you set up your course, most of the courses are set up a semester at a time. They're not being built and added as you go. So if you uncheck this, it's checked by default. If you uncheck it, any graded item that is already in your course, but maybe students won't get to it for 4 weeks, it will affect their grade. So you must leave that checked so that it doesn't affect their lowest grade. If you, if this was assignments or maybe classwork, something like that, and you want to drop your lowest grade, maybe it's quizzes and you want to drop your lowest grade, you can tell to drop the lowest grade here. These little question marks, it will explain what each of these are. So the setting enables a specific number of lowest grades to be excluded. So if you want to drop the lowest grade, you would change that to a 1. If not, just leave it. There are 4 types of grades. Value is a numerical. Scale, an item in a list, or text is feedback only. So that really doesn't affect their course grade. 99.9% of the time, you're just going to leave it as value. Then you are going to put in the max and minimum, and again, you're going to leave those where they are. And just to show you, there are a couple more settings. So if you click show more, it opens up the full menu. But typically you don't need any of the additional settings, and you will save it will recalculate the grades. It doesn't mean it's changing grades or anything, it's just recalculating, it's setting up the gradebook. So now if you look down here, there's test total. That wasn't there before. If we go and we add another category, I'm going to call this assignments. And here I want weighted mean of grades. You want to make sure that you keep it the same. Again, it's going to match your syllabus. This would be a drop the lowest grade. And you can change the parent category, so if you need to, but I'm not going to, and I'm just going to hit save. Now, where the parent category comes in is, let's say final, like tests are worth 20% of the grade, assignments are worth 40% of the grade, and your final is worth 15% of your final grade. This is where you could go in and make it its own category. So you would go in and say final exam, weighted mean of grades. You're not going to drop anything, and you could change the parent category to test and save. Now I'm going to go back and show you what it looked like just so that you have it and you can see it. So none of these have been put into where they should be, but here's test, here's final exam, and here's assignments. Okay, so just make sure that when you do your gradebook setup that all of your assignments are in categories if you're doing categories. If there are assignments outside of the categories, they may not grade correctly, and when your gradebook is checked against your syllabus, it won't match your syllabus. So just make sure that you have a conversation to know if there's any guidelines in your specific department. Then never uncheck the exclude empty grades. Always leave it the way it is. Choose between weighted mean of grades and natural, which is points. If you have any further questions, there is help at the LibGuide with setting up, and you can always contact the Center for Teaching and Learning to get further instructions. Thank you.